Hello, I'm Tobey Nelson, certified professional horticulturist, coming to you from Venture Out Nursery on Whidbey Island. It's July, and we are going to talk today a few moments about planting in the summer. Many customers come to the nursery and ask me when is the best time to plant. In the Pacific Northwest, we can plant year-round, but there are a few special tricks for planting in the summer. Because we have a summer dry climate here, and typically rains sort of ebb in May-ish, June-ish, our soils tend to dry out during the summer, and that is our number one challenge when planting in the summer. So don't be scared, but follow a few tricks. So the first thing to do is to make sure that you have a very well hydrated plant when you are going to plant. So a few days prior to planting, take care to make sure that plant is fully hydrated. Water the plant really well. You can even do what a friend calls a bubble soak. You fill up a bucket with water and you drop the container right in it until all the bubbles have come out and the plant has sunk. And then you know that it's really saturated. You don't want to leave it in for more than a couple of hours, but you can do that to thoroughly wet the soil. That's also a good tip if you have a tip that if you have a container that has really dried out, that's a good way to get it fully hydrated again. So that's step one. The other is to make sure that you have a well-hydrated soil that you're planting into. So you may choose a few days beforehand to irrigate the planting area so that the soil is moistened. So those are some preparation tricks. Then when you choose to plant, the day you choose to plant, if you have a choice in looking at the forecast of a cooler day or a hotter day, choose the cooler day. But you can also choose the time of day for your benefit. So planting in the evening or the early morning when the plant is less active, photosynthesizing and transpiring, those are the better times of day. So in the late afternoon when the sun is lowered and the temperatures are starting to wane, that's a good time to dig your hole and get started. So you want to dig a hole just like always, as deep as the plant root ball, twice as wide. But especially for summer plants, you may wish to do some amending of your soil with a compost or a manure because those materials help hold water in the soil. So mix the existing soil with the compost, put your plant in the hole, your very well hydrated plant in the hole, and then water everything. As you're backfilling, water that soil so that you have a very moist media that's between the existing field soil and then the backfill in the hole as well as the plant. What can happen if you put a wet plant root ball into a dry hole is that dry soil will pull the moisture from the plant and create a lot of moisture stress. So if you can make sure that the soil surrounding the plant is moist, that is key. And once it's moistened by your, forcing water into it when you plant, it's easier to keep that soil hydrated. So you want to backfill and then mulch. So mulch is key for summertime, and that's also a good way to keep your existing plantings, keep the moisture in the soil, is to mulch early when the soil is still wet. If you haven't mulched yet, it's not too late. You still can water well and then mulch and then keep the soil well watered. So that's key. That's really what it takes to do summer planting, is just a commitment to watering. A couple other tips for the aftercare: make sure the plant stays watered. I don't recommend you rely on a sprinkler system to keep a new plant watered. I think it's very important to keep it watered with a hose. So a couple to 3 times a week, get your hose on a little trickle and put it right up on the neck of the plant. Leave it for about an hour. Use a timer to remind yourself. That way the water can soak through the entire depth of the root ball. So if you think about a 1 gallon or a 5 gallon pot, usually irrigation systems are only watering the top couple of inches, but there's roots all the way down. And so we need to be careful that we're watering that entire root zone. So a long, slow trickle tends to let the water seep deeply into the soil rather than just running off the side. Then finally, if we are in for hot weather after you plant, you can use an anti-transpirant spray. So we sell this product. It is a combination of oils. So there's castor oil, rosemary, clove, peppermint. It does work as an insect and rodent repellent, but also if you spray this on the top and the bottom of the foliage of your plant before the sun is up, so this is good the evening or the very early morning so the oils can dry before there's direct sun on the foliage, what it does is it clogs the pores of the leaves so that the water that's in the plant stays in there and doesn't escape. So plants breathe by evapotranspiration, so water leaves their foliage. That's why plants wilt, is they're trying to hold that moisture in. So this can help clog the pores and help keep the water that's in there stay in there. It's like putting your lettuce in a plastic bag. Don't put your plants in a plastic bag. But this kind of works the same way. So this can be sort of an extreme measure product for you. So I hope that helps you. Keep gardening all summer, plant, and have fun. Thanks very much for watching, and come visit us sometime.